10 questions. 1. Can you share what it means to be a postdoctoral fellow and what type of work you do?
It means that I have a PhD and I am doing more advanced training. So, yeah, that's what a postdoc fellow is. And I work at a lab bench and I perform experiments. I generate, depending on the data that I get, then I analyze these results. I write these results and hopefully um, try to get it published in a paper. Yeah, so that's like the basic work that I do.
2. For early applicants watching, what are the top 3 non-scientific skills you believe are most important for success in medical research?
Communication is the most important one, to be able to uh, share your ideas, communicate with your PI, with people in the lab, to be able to express your the research findings in a simple way so that they know what you're doing. I think that's very important. Knowing how to plan and manage your time is also very important because uh, your experiments don't stop. And so if you don't manage your time, then you might end up staying in the lab for like a very long time, like even throughout the day and night time. Like, it may be hard to actually find the time to, I don't know, how do you pause or to find, so you have to plan like these things. Planning is very important. Time management is very important. So you don't burn out at the end. Yeah, I mean, like research is like they say it's like a marathon, and so you have to know how to pace yourself. So these are very important skills: time management, planning, communication, how to present your ideas.
3. What's the most recent discovery or finding you have been a part of that just completely reignited your passion and excitement for what you do? Tell us about that win.
I don't know. I feel like maybe this is something that you can. It will take years to do, and then you look back and say, okay, maybe that was the point when it was the trigger. For me personally, I can answer the part about what has ignited my passions. I think I'll answer that part. Um, during my PhD, I was working with fat tissues and how stress affected the function on the fat tissue. And I think all my PhD, I was focusing on one particular type of protein. Towards the end, my idea just changed. Like I started I was more interested in like how stress, the different stresses, they release the cortisol hormones and how that hormones can affect your immune system. So I started getting interested into that part. Like, yeah, this is well known that if you are stressed, then your immune system is weak and stuff like that. But it also changes your fat and how your body utilizes fat. So I got very interested in that aspect of um, metabolism, like how stress will affect your metabolism. And I thought that was something that I wanted to study and pursue. So that's why I chose like immune. I chose immunology as for my postdoctoral training. Yeah, I joined an immunology lab because that was like I was like, yeah, I want to know more what's going on there.
4. What is the single biggest non scientific challenge of being a postdoctoral researcher that people outside the field might not often see?
Actually, there are many, but let me just focus on one is the job security, I would say. This is a training phase, it's not a job. And so you have to think about what you want to do next. So that is a challenge that you don't really see upfront. Um, so being a postdoc fellow means that you are still training to get to either become an independent researcher or have a lab, become a principal investigator or start an academic career that way, or you could either go into an industry job and work as part of the scientific team or part of a management team. The main profession has not yet started, I would say, as a postdoc fellow. So you are still in a training phase, learning, doing experiments, and figuring out what your next steps might be. Also, financially, because it's a training phase, so you may have spent so many years studying and being educated, but it's not a lot of money at the end of the day. And so financially, it can be a little bit hard, especially if you live in a big city, to manage a family, let's say. So that can also be like a non-scientific challenge that is not very obvious.
5. Can you describe a moment where collaboration with someone else, perhaps even from a different scientific background, led to a breakthrough or a key insight you couldn't have achieved alone?
Almost all of my experiments, I've had some mentors or somebody who I have sought out either for learning about the techniques or just helping me go through the protocols so that I understand what I am not making just silly mistakes. Like just to make sure that I am doing the right thing. Like it's not a technical problem on my end. So I had a lot of people to help me about this, but I think one thing that really stood out to me was during my PhD, we were looking at the expression of a protein on the adipose tissue. That was what I was working during that time, and there was this technique to um, like separate the tissue into the fat cells, immune cell, and the rest of the product like fat cells and let's say immune cells. And we were looking at the expression of a protein, and we wanted to know whether it was in the fat cells or it was in the immune cells. And we had bought an antibody, and we had already gone through the procedure to find out whether the antibody was working, and it was working. But whenever I tested in my samples, it never showed up. So we didn't know what was wrong there. And so I had my boss at the time had helped me seek out another lab member. So she had helped me to find out what the problem was. And so we did another experiment, one with the same protocol that I was doing, and the other one where I didn't use the enzyme. And that way I was able to find out um, that the collagenase enzyme was actually responsible for cleaving the protein. That's why I was not able to see the expression. And so that helped me just reaching out to another person to troubleshoot my protocol. Yeah. So I think it really, I couldn't have done it by myself. You maybe like sometimes you are so focused on one single problem that you don't see that the problem might be in the technique to get to that place. Like, different protocols or so you have to troubleshoot every step, and it helps to collaborate and reach out to other people, and that way you can be benefited by their expert knowledge.
6. How do you mentally and emotionally bounce back from failure and stay motivated when things don't go as planned?
You have to be curious just to know what are the different alternatives. uh, So when we design experiments, we are already thinking, what if this doesn't work out? Then what is the next way to test the procedure? So we have to be curious always. We have to be reading a lot. We also have to be positive because sometimes it doesn't work out. Like you can try, but sometimes it doesn't work out, and so you have to be reading about it, and talk to people, share your knowledge. Most people are very open to sharing their ideas. Yeah, that's how I think surrounding yourself with optimistic people also helps a lot.
7. How do you define and achieve work-life balance as a postdoctoral fellow? Is it something that changes day to day, or do you have a consistent approach?
It's very hard, and I try to have a schedule, like to be at work at the same time and try to leave at the same time and try to get things done as much as I can in between. Um, but it's sometimes it changes, like it can differ from day to day. If I have like let's say like my experiments are short, I don't have a very long experiment day, and so I can do it within the time. Then I may be able to go home a little bit earlier than I thought. So things like that. But um, yeah, I try to do it, but yeah, it can change day to day for me.
8. What strategies do you use to protect your mental health and manage stress in such an intensive environment?
It's very important to have good colleagues that you can share your troubles with. Like there is so many other things to consider also, and so that can really compound to your stress. It's not just your experiments not working out, but there are other things as well. So it's important to have friends who can understand you. I feel like to share your troubles, um, and know that actually there is help available in a big institutions have postdoctoral scholars office, even employee assistance program, or places that you can actually reach out to these people to share really if it's really bothering you a lot. So it's nice to know that there are these types of counseling available to all of us here. Being optimistic, having people who that are here to work as a team, that you are not alone. Mental resilience is also important.
9. If you could go back in time and give your undergraduate or graduate school self one piece of advice about pursuing this career, what would it be?
I would tell myself that it's important to build time management skills and critical thinking skills. Like, I think that would be something that I would have really required for my grad school. Like, without those skills, it's very hard. Eventually, you survive grad school, you do it, but those are the things you come out knowing that it wasn't all about research. Like, it was about those skills also, so that you don't burn out and you don't feel like so exhausted that you feel like you want nothing to do with science at the end of it. So I think, like, looking back, I would, yeah, definitely manage your time. It's the most important resource you have. Like, you have to know how to manage and plan your day. Like, those are so important skills, because I felt like during my undergraduate years we had a routine, like, okay, 8 to 9 you have this class to go to, 9 to 10 you have this class to go to. So there was a schedule made for you, but then as a grad student it's not there. It's up to you how you manage your time. And so, you know you can really get lost, because if you don't have a PI who's like really asking questions after every week, then you are really on your own. So those skills are important to plan your week, to plan your day, the week, month, what you'll have at the end of the week, like what kind of deliverables do you have. So yeah, those are the things that I would tell myself.
10. What is one final message you want to leave with our audience of early applicants who are considering a career in medical research?
Say go for it. I mean, there is so many issues that medical science don't have answers for, and it's important that we have new people coming into medical research so that we get new insights, new energy, and yeah. So I would say, yeah, definitely go for it. Be positive, be curious. Yeah, those things are very important. And also, like, at the end of the day, when you are doing research, the quality of questions you ask matters. So it doesn't matter which institution you go to, but the quality of questions, how clear your reasoning is, how clear your ideas are, those are very important. And the kind of work that I do is not like something that has an impact today, because I'm working on mice cells, let's say, or those kind of research is being done in mice, so it will take a lot of time to reach human trials and to have an impact on actual humans. And so, but that doesn't mean that what I'm doing is not important. Like in the long run, there is no instant gratification. Like more like the kind of work I do may have an impact 30 years from now. So it's something like that. But then it's important to do this work, so we have an understanding of the biology behind these things. Yeah, those things matter. So it doesn't matter where you go, but as long as you are clear about what you want to ask and pursue, then I think it's a great place to be. Yeah, I'd say everyone go for it. Thank you so much for letting me share a little bit of what I have.
3 empathy points. 1. Certain vocabulary words are used consistently within a specific field. For example, in laboratory settings, researchers share a common scientific vocabulary, but the names of instruments and job positions can vary from one facility to another. As Dr. Matia noted, maintaining openness and curiosity is essential for continued growth and for developing a deeper understanding in any field. 2. Some of these questions invite us to reflect on careers in healthcare. In the midst of work, daily life, and science, it can be easy to forget how our individual roles connect to the bigger picture. Yet, when we take the time to examine, we gain clarity and a deeper appreciation for the significance of our efforts. Working behind the scenes does not make our contributions invisible. It allows them to shine through the eyes of those we serve. 3. Managing time wisely is an invaluable skill, one that is transferable and can be applied to any field. It not only shapes how you envision your path towards a healthcare career or organize your daily schedule, but also how you respond to unexpected events that may support or disrupt your routines. Appreciating our efforts, remaining open to feedback, and exploring different approaches until we discover what works best require both humility and resilience.